northmainfinancial.com.
The following is a paid program that does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday, my friend Margi. How are you?
I am well. And what good things have you been doing this week?
Lord have mercy. It's only Tuesday. You have no idea. Over the weekend, kind of a busy weekend at Hope House, we moved out 3 families and moved in 3 families. Yeah. And we don't normally do that. So that was busy. And then, of course, we're in the midst of our build over off of Beatty's Ford Road on 3 homes, actually 2 currently. And boy, that is something, trying to put that GC.
When am I going to get to come and see it and help you?
Anytime it's not 100 degrees out, okay? Because I
Well,
wouldn't
see you in
suggest
September.
it. Yeah, I wouldn't suggest it. But things are starting to go quickly now. We're up and sided. We're getting some sheetrock installed this week, and then found a lovely human being who is going to be donating all the kitchen cabinets and countertops.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so he owns a company, and he wants his employees to give back. So super excited about that.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and then our friends at the Happy Hour Rotary installed a shed. Not only did they put a shed on the property, but it will have a riding lawnmower, a blower, an edger. So thank you so much to our friends at Huntersville Happy Hour. That's
yes, they've done a lot for Little Smiles too.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So how about you? What's keeping you cool?
Air
your world.
conditioning. Yeah.
I know it is hot.
And I got invaded with bugs.
Oh no!
Oh my God!
Yuck!
I went to open my little storage where I store pots and pans and whatever, and about 4 of these big, huge rodent things just scooted across and went under my sofa, and I went, not sitting there for a while.
Well, I think in the South they call them June bugs, but I think they're roaches.
It's a rodent.
Yeah. pretty nasty.
So I had the
sure.
guy in today, and he said, "You can't be in here for about 2 hours." I went, "Oh."
Oh, that's some toxic stuff they're putting
Well,
down.
I
To get
had
rid of
to go to the pool with my computer. I hate it when that happens.
Oh, I feel bad for you. That's really tough. Yeah, husband said to me over the weekend, "Really, you got to do this? It's the weekend." I said, "It never ends at Hope House. I
know.
don't keep a 9 to 5.
No.
In fact, last night I was home at 9:30. So that's just the way that it goes when you are working with families that are in transition. You're available."
And then I did do. It's coming out, I think Thursday on LKN Connect. Went to Goat Pizza.
Oh, how was that?
That is an experience.
I bet.
I really enjoyed it.
Okay, that's our friend David Burke from Port
Yes,
City. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard good things.
Yes, and I talked to Tim yesterday.
Okay.
And Tim knows him personally
Yes.
very well.
Yes.
And he was asking me what I ordered, and I said I ordered the watermelon pizza.
Okay.
It was delicious.
I know our guest is from Jersey, and I think he might have just done a gag me too. So, do tell, watermelon pizza?
Uh-huh. It's on a slice of watermelon, and it had goat cheese and olives and tomatoes and all sorts of yummy stuff on it.
And?
It was delicious.
Really?
It's delicious. And then we had cauliflower crusted pizza.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, and I had Amber, who we had on the show too.
Oh, good.
Amber was there critiquing everything that we were putting in our mouth.
Okay. Yikes. That's tough.
I think the water was probably the only good thing I had. But that was kind of fun, and I'll tell you, it's just an experience.
We, as non-for-profit leaders in our community, need to find good ways to take care of ourselves. And that was practicing good self-care, Margi, of going out and having a lovely time with someone that was a guest on our show and taking good care of yourself.
Yeah.
I love hearing that.
Yeah, well, and David Hines, who's the president, was my neighbor for years, so it's always good to see him too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I hope they leave a good mark on our community. We could always use good pizza. It's not New Jersey pizza,
No, well, they do have some really traditional ones
but
too.
Okay.
And they have smash burgers and
Okay. So they're
pasta.
kind of hip. They're keeping
They
up with
are.
things. Okay, cool.
He took experience and just knocked it out of the park.
That's amazing. Well, Margie and I have a really special, amazing announcement that we're going to be making about a sponsorship that we've
Yes.
just received through the McIntosh Law Firm. So excited! Be paying attention in the next couple of weeks. We'll be spotlighting and highlighting some of our friends in the non-for-profit world, which we need to self-promote as well as share the victories and
Yeah.
the great stuff. This community is
Oh,
filled with
there's
people
so
doing
much out there.
amazing things. So I'm excited to learn and to put more hope in the headlines.
We're already booked up through July.
Amen, sister. That's how you do it.
Yeah.
That's how you do it right here. And for
And
those,
it's nice that people are calling us.
that's cool. And do want to tell everyone to download the WSIC app from your Google Store or wherever the App Store, whatever store you're shopping from. Put the app on your phone so that you can be caught up and you can watch our show live stream. If that doesn't work for you, you can always see us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube and watch us live. So that is exciting. I'm excited to learn about our guest today. I am
Yes.
going to be one of those listeners today to learn about the amazing work that they're doing in our community and what they've done for Little Smiles. So after we come back from break, you'll be introducing him, and then our whole community will know about him and the wonderful work
We'll
that he
keep them a
does.
surprise right now.
What's that?
I said we'll keep them a surprise
We
right
like
now.
to do that. We like to bring our listeners back after our station break.
And we are getting ready for Christmas in July.
No way.
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Santa's coming.
He is.
Every year. This is our third Christmas in July.
Oh,
and
poor
it's,
Santa.
I know. He wears shorts.
Does he?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and a Hawaiian shirt, I hope, or something.
And a beard.
Yeah, good. Okay, awesome. And what's that all about? Tell us about that event.
Well, everybody brings a gift
Okay,
for Little Smiles,
a new toy.
a new toy.
Okay.
And they get their picture taken with Santa. And there's lots to do around there and activities that they can do.
Very cool. So they can have
And-
music,
yeah.
games, raffle prizes, and your furry friends are welcomed at Lost Worlds Brewery. That is awesome. And when is that? Saturday, July 27th from 3 to 6.
That's my daughter's birthday.
Very
A
cool.
beautiful way to celebrate it.
I love it because, reminding folks in July that there are kids in need all year
Yeah.
round. And especially now when this is kind of what we would call maybe the dry season for non-for-profits, right?
Well, you know as well as I know, these kids need Christmas every day for what
Absolutely.
they've gone through. And I just really do not want to see any child hurting.
Well, and thanks to Little Smiles, there were 7 that moved in, new children, to Hope House over the weekend that all were the beneficiary of a fuzzy little stuffed animal type thing with a little blanket. And we always put a welcome gift basket together for the
Yes.
families.
Yeah.
And to now specifically have something for a child is really important because they haven't really had anything to call their own in a long time. So we always say, welcome home, and this is your little lovey. And I'll tell you, it kind of hangs out with them for the first couple of weeks.
Sure it does.
Good thing to hang on to.
Yeah.
So thank you, Little Smiles, for putting big smiles on the children from Hope House. So
Well, we do that at the hospitals too. We
Yes, I
do
know
the
you do.
gift bags so that when they go in there, they're scared, they're hurt, they're crying. And even the siblings don't understand
Yeah.
why did mommy have to wake me up? And,
Yeah,
You know, so
yeah.
we give them bags too. I don't care. Any child in need is what.
that's amazing. Well,
Yeah.
when we come back from break, we're going to be introducing you to our Jersey boy who can probably tell us good stuff about good Jersey pizza when we come back shortly.
More informative discussion about people and groups doing good in our community coming up. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC.
Oh boy, summer's coming slinging with this heat and still no relief from the 90s for a while, although it's a little less humid for today, so not quite as sticky, but it's still just plain hot, no matter what you do if you're going to be outside. Plenty of sunshine today. High temperatures are back in the low to mid 90s. Overnight, partly cloudy and mostly clear skies will dip down to around 70. More mid 90s on the way, and the humidity comes back tomorrow with a low chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. That's your forecast. From the WSIC Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like Teresa Vance, life insurance agent and retirement strategist.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Live gets your weekend off to an early start on Thursday night. The Carolinas' premier Beatles tribute band Tangerine Trees covers many well-known songs and a few obscure ones. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert beginning at 7. Bring your chairs to Langtree on Thursday, June 27th for Beatles tribute band Tangerine Trees. Birkdale's Live Under the Oaks concert series continues on Friday. The ultimate 90s experience from Gump Fiction begins at 6 p.m. Kick back and relax on the green in front of the stage at Birkdale Village in Huntersville for the free Gump Fiction show on Friday night. Downtown Statesville welcomes live music this weekend. On Friday, Wine Maestro showcases a performance by Danny Wicker at 7 p.m., while Delaney's Sports Bar presents Bryce Reese at 8 p.m. Visit Downtown Statesville Friday night for live music at Wine Maestro and Delaney's Sports Bar. The Kane Center for the Arts Week 4 of summer camps begins Monday, July 8th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 5 to 15 include ceramics, drawing, art, food, painting, and more. The fall performance season begins Saturday, September 7th with a show by comedian Tom Cotter. For more information on the just announced fall performance schedule and summer camp programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series revs up summertime at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-race series nights 5 and 6 are on Monday, July 1st and Tuesday, July 2nd. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Community Centered continues now. Here are your hosts, Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We're still talking about the watermelon pizza.
Yes, we are.
You're going to have to go and try it sometime because it was very different.
Okie doke.
We would love to hear from you. So if you have a question during this hour, please call in. You know the number, 844-STUDIO-4. So our guest today, I highlighted all the things that he's currently doing.
The whole page is yellow, by the way.
I know. I went, oh my gosh, I always thought I had done a lot of things. And I have, but I am very honored to present Scott to everybody and to share with them. I had never heard of BLOC.
Okay.
Business Leaders of Charlotte.
Correct.
And I wanted to share your information with everybody because what you do is amazing. To say nothing about the check we received for Little Smiles.
Right.
For your golf tournament. You know, it just, we were talking in the beginning about Rotary and all the different clubs, but this is one that is in Charlotte, but you've got a chapter here too.
We do have a North chapter. It actually meets, where does it meet? It meets over at Ed's Tavern, second floor.
Yeah, it used to be over in Birkdale and they had to move.
You're correct. You're correct. They closed the restaurant they're meeting at over there.
And I keep meaning to try to find a meeting to go to again because
I hope you do.
I really enjoyed the people. I enjoy your cause.
Thank you.
And you're on the executive committee of it.
Yes, executive council. Does it say committee? I
Council.
always try council.
No.
Yeah.
It does. You're right.
Yeah.
So, so tell us, Scott, how does that work? What is it? What does it stand for? How are you different from Rotary?
Okay, great questions.
Yeah.
So the Business Leaders of Charlotte, we started about 2001, and it really started a different version prior to that. It was called Future Leaders of Charlotte, which actually there's a full circle involved there because we do have a chapter now called Future Leaders of Charlotte, which is 18 to 35-year-olds.
Okay.
And we can get back to that. But it started out as FLOC, and at that time, I was in my young 30s, starting out a business, and I got invited to this group called Future Leaders of Charlotte. A lot of great people were in that room. And we would get together weekly, just like we talked about Rotary does.
Right.
Weekly. And it was truly a leads group. Imagine sometime another y'all been involved with leads groups where they put down on a sheet of paper, you need to call this person, he can
Yes.
blah, blah,
Yeah.
which is great. I mean, I think anybody starting out a business really does need to be involved in those type of aggressive networking, leads generating
Yes.
groups. We were that. But somewhere around year 2 of my involvement, the guys that were running that group decided they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to run that kind of organization anymore. So we went to a luncheon one day and they were like, "We're done." And I was thinking to
We've
myself,
said that a lot of times, haven't we?
I thought to
We
myself,
call that sickness,
Yeah.
Scott.
We're sick of this and we're sick of that.
there's so many great people in this room. What are we giving up for?
Yeah.
So we met out at a company called Brady Distribution out there near the airport. And we sat down and sort of had a rebirth. We changed our name to Business Leaders of Charlotte
Okay.
rather than being presumptive of the fact that we were future leaders of Charlotte. And we stopped meeting weekly. We started meeting once a month for a luncheon, a membership luncheon. And then at the end of the month, we would meet for a networking after hours, which is similar to what you all were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So that's twice a month. So it was the second Thursday of each month we would have our luncheons, and the last Wednesday of each month we'd have our after hours. That was the original chapter.
Okay.
But since it's industry specific, we could only get 50, 60 people in the group because all these financial planners wanted to join them, right? Realtors, and we could only have one. And there's so many great people like that around Charlotte.
Okay. Yeah.
So we started this South chapter, and then we started North chapter, and then now we've got we had a Matthews chapter at one time. We just couldn't get it going, but we changed that into the South chapter because we commingled Ballantyne and Matthews. Anyways, and then we started the Future Leaders of Charlotte because people have been members for so long. We're getting older and older.
Yeah,
You ladies, this doesn't affect you, but for the rest of us, we're getting older and older.
We just cover it up.
So we need to get some young youth involved. So we started the Future Leaders of Charlotte about 2 years ago, and we've got that chapter up and running, and it meets at Stir the second Wednesday of each month. So I think it's pretty great. So we've got the membership luncheons, the after hours where people get to know each other and become friends with each other, and people that want to do business with people they know, like, and trust.
That's right.
Like, and trust. And that's what you're earning by going to those luncheons, going to those after hours. But we wanted to start giving back to the community. So about 18 years ago, we got together one holiday season and put literally money into a hat, and we went out and bought some gifts for some underprivileged kids in the community, and we sponsored 2 families and delivered gifts, and that felt really, really good. And then we said, well, let's make this part of what we do on a regular basis. And are we on? Am I still okay?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, so I saw this timer was 0. I was like, oh no, I screwed up already. Thank you. But so anyways, we decided to make that one of our 3-pronged pieces to our tool.
Right.
Building the business, building friendship, and giving back to the community. So now we do 3 events. We tried to do 4, but it was just so overwhelming doing 4 events. And so we have Block and Bowl.
You do it well.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We have the golf tournament, which you were part of. We have a Mayfest event, which usually raises money for hospice and palliative care of Charlotte. We just had that a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then we have what we call Block and Bowl, where we raise money for kids in need. And that's what we each year. So we're giving back to the community. And over the 20 years, we've raised about $750,000 for the local community.
Oh, my gosh.
Local
that's
charities.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's great. And then nobody does it to take, I don't know how to express this properly, but to get ahead or take advantage or whatever the case may be. They're just doing it because it feels good.
Mm-hmm.
And and the thought process there is, if you and I are working so hard for other folks, well, wouldn't that be the kind of person you want to do business with?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're earning it without really trying to do it in a manipulative way, if you will.
Yeah.
So
Love it.
it's actually great. So you're earning business by doing something good for the community. So there we are.
But that's not all you do. I mean,
Are you talking about me personally or the group?
Yes.
Okay.
You know, you're serving on the advisory board for the Girls on the Run of Greater Piedmont.
Okay.
I need to update my profile, but I did do that for 6 years. Yeah, that's still a great organization. Yes,
Okay.
Liz Kuntz is a good friend of mine. She's I'm curious what else it says there.
Are you president of the Lake Norman Executive Group?
I am. That's it still meets on occasion, but we're not as. You know what really hurt that group was the pandemic. We couldn't get
It
together
hurt
anymore.
everybody.
Yeah. it
How
really
is
did.
that different from BLOC?
It's much more intimate, smaller group. It was really a speaker series. We only met once a month. Now we just get together and meet at something like Epic Chop House up there in Mooresville and
Yeah.
bond with the members still. So,
Okay.
but my full
And
time.
then you are the co-founder of Best in Tech.
There you go. That's what I do most of the time.
Yeah.
Which is basically a computer network integration company, which is a fancy way of saying we're outsourced IT guys. So if you need somebody to work on your computer, your
I
router,
almost
your
brought it in.
switches, yeah, there you go. We're happy to help you. Promise. But I started that company about the same time we started BLOC, and I started with my partner Ed Meadows. And what we do is we basically work with companies around the greater Charlotte area and work with their computer networks. Even if they got a full-time guy,
Yeah.
we can help out part-time with whatever they need. I love what we do. Everybody needs what we do, so why not us?
That's right.
That's amazing. Do you know Pat Millen with E2D?
No, I do not.
So that he's a person who started a non-for-profit in our community called E2D, or Eliminate the Digital Divide. And the preface behind that was one day his daughter said, "Dad, we need to hold a lemonade stand." And he said, "Okay, what for?" And she said, "Well, there's kids in my class who don't have computers or
Yes.
don't have access to
Right.
technology." And he said, "Well, it's going to take more than a lemonade stand, but okay, let's do the lemonade stand." So they did the lemonade stand, and I think she raised something like $500 or $700, some crazy number.
Oh my gosh.
And you know how sometimes you go to Lowe's and you got a guy. The guy's like, "Hey, where's my guy that's going to show me the right screwdriver or
Totally.
something?" So that next Monday morning, Pat spoke to his guy at Lowe's and said, "This is my daughter. We did this over the weekend, this lemonade stand. It's kind of a pipe dream." And he said, "Let me call you back this afternoon." By 5 o'clock, he had 500 laptops donated to him.
What?
And from Lowe's. And what he then did was go to Davidson College and some of the high schools and work with the tech teams to have these young men refurbish these laptops
Yes.
to give to kids in need.
I'm working with them.
Isn't that
now.
Incredible?
Yes.
That's awesome.
He's
Yeah.
he's
That gives you goosebumps.
It does. And the fact that, I know now if a child comes to Hope House and they don't have a computer or whatever they
You
need,
call us.
I call them or I call Margie and they get access to that. Something also that he was working with too was free internet service for kids living in those low-income, impoverished communities. He helped provide access to that. So he's a great guy and love to hook you up with him.
I'd love to
And
meet
we
him.
Probably should have him on the show, Margie.
Yes,
so
we
I'll
should.
reach
It's a
out
great
and
idea.
Yeah.
have you do that. But I think that would go hand in hand with what you do.
But he
When I-
does. We must go through at least 200 to 300 laptops a month.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Is that like the number one requested item of kids in the hospital?
Yeah.
I would imagine.
because they need to stay connected
Yeah. Wow.
and they don't have the funds.
Do you get those donated?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes.
Okay.
do you work with E2D?
I just got their card. I
Yeah.
met them at
Yeah.
that non-for-profit
That
meeting.
would be a great partnership.
And he couldn't wait to start working with us.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
Love the story, love the guy, love the mission, love that his daughter in 8th grade recognized that there were
That's
kids
right.
that she was going to school
Yeah.
with that had a need for technology. And I'm sure that sinks to your spirit, Scott, about technology and people's access to it. So I love that. I know that we're going to be going to break shortly, but when we come back, I want to learn more about your business, your mission with
Perfect.
BLOC Charlotte, or anything else you'd love to share with our listeners. Because
Okay. Yeah, we need to
I,
set the record straight about pizza does not have watermelon.
I'm with you. I'm on team oregano, sausage,
Exactly.
pepperoni
Mozzarella,
from New Jersey,
yeah.
dripping oil, greasy pizza. Amen. When we come back, we're talking with Scott.
Thank you.
More informative discussion about people and groups doing good in our community coming up. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC.
Oh boy, summer's coming slinging with this heat and still no relief from the 90s for a while, although it's a little less humid for today, so not quite as sticky, but it's still just plain hot no matter what you do if you're going to be outside. Plenty of sunshine today. High temperatures are back in the low to mid 90s. Overnight, partly cloudy and mostly clear skies will dip down to around 70. More mid 90s on the way, and the humidity comes back tomorrow with a low chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Are you in constant pain, under constant stress? Just need a moment away? Repeat after me. Serenity Now Massage Therapy. Serenity Now Massage and Wellness.com, with locations in Mooresville and Cornelius.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with everything I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of dry AMD called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, colors appear dull or washed out. For others, hazy or blurred vision make it hard to see details, like fine print on price tags. Many have trouble seeing in the dark, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you think you have GA, don't wait. Treatments are available. Ask a retina specialist about FDA-approved treatments for GA and go to gawon'twait.com.
Is your AC ready for the summer? Horn Heating and Air Conditioning is in the Lake Norman area to make sure Mother Nature is no match for your system. Experience the feeling of awe. HornHVAC.com. Schedule your maintenance today.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Hi, this is Josh Wadobe. Join me Thursdays at 4 p.m. for Dollars and Cents, a show that focuses on your personal financial journey and the markets around us. That's Dollars and Cents, Thursday afternoons at 4, here on WSIC.
Sources have told Bloomberg that Boeing is offering to acquire Spirit Aerosystems in a deal valued at around $35 per share. That would represent a premium of around 6% to Spirit's closing price yesterday. While the original parameters of the deal called for a mostly cash deal, Boeing's latest proposal calls for the sale to be funded mostly with stock. A purchase of Spirit would allow the plane maker to have more control over the quality of production of fuselages and wings. Federal Reserve Governor Lisa Cook said in prepared remarks to the Economic Club in New York that it would be appropriate to reduce interest rates at some point. Cook believes inflation will continue to improve this year with faster progress next year. The governor believes the timing of a rate cut will depend on the economic data as well as balancing risks. Earlier this month, central bankers left rates unchanged at a two-decade high. Amazon announcing the dates of this year's Prime event. The popular online sale, which is open to Amazon Prime members, will be taking place on July 16th and 17th. I'm Dan Schwartzman, Bloomberg Radio.
Community Centered continues now. Here are your hosts, Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. We are visiting with our friend Scott from BLOC. And I just wanted to remind everybody again that during the break time is when we have these really great, productive, amazing conversations that I sometimes wish. I feel like we're still going live so that we can share some of the information. But we were talking about some shared resources and such. So I'm delighted that Scott is here visiting with us. Tell us more, Scott, about BLOC and how people could get involved if they were wanting to join. I mean, is it a membership? Is there a fee? Where do you meet? All that good stuff.
No, thank you so much. So first step, if you want to find out more about it, would be just go to the website, businessleadersofcharlotte.com. And it's just spell it out, businessleadersofcharlotte.com. And you can find out about the different chapters, find out about the different community service projects we're involved in, how much money we've raised. You could actually even see the members on there for the different chapters. So if you wanted to, if we met in an after hours and you couldn't find me, you can go to the BLOC website.
Okay.
You could look up under the Uptown chapter and you could find me. So I'm actually the president this year.
Okay.
I was president the first 8 years that we were starting the Business Leader of Charlotte. And then we had several other great presidents after that. But after the term from our most recent president, which was Jeremiah Hunt, a terrific president, I really wanted to try it one last time. So they allowed me the opportunity. It's a 2-year term now instead of an 8-year dictatorship like I had. And it's a democracy now. It's like instead, like I said, it was a dictatorship at one time. But it's a great board that I'm with. There's an executive board and an executive council that I'm on as well. So, but anyways, if you want to get involved, you just go to the website. And then the first step is just to come to our networking after hours. It's always the last Wednesday of each month. always. And where we meet at is always listed on the website.
Okay.
This month, which is actually it's tomorrow night, it's the last Wednesday of the month, is at Wooden Road by the South End location. Have you ever been to?
Oh, yeah.
It's a
Very
great
cool.
spot.
Mm-hmm.
Great beer. They got 2 locations, but it's a great spot. They're very hospitable. We got some good food there, and they always have some beer specials for us. So come on out there. It starts at 5:30 p.m.
Okay.
If you want to meet with a friend beforehand, there's another section that you can meet at, but our section is if you're facing the building on the left-hand side, you come in there at 5:30. And I always say that you've either got friends in there or friends you haven't met yet.
Yeah.
And you come in there, and we're very welcoming. And if people want to pursue membership, they just reach out to one of the folks with the hard name tags and say, hey, how do I get involved? And they'll invite you to a membership luncheon, and that's it.
Wow.
That's amazing. So, what's your why, Scott? You seem to have your hands in a lot of amazing things and a great big generous heart, but I'm always curious why.
So it's a trickle-down effect. I come from a fantastic family. I'm the oldest of 6.
Oh, wow.
My father, do you say your daughter's birthday is the 27th of July?
Yeah.
My father's is the 28th,
Oh.
and he will be 94 years old.
Oh my
Bless.
goodness.
94 years young.
Yeah.
He's fantastic, and he's my hero. He's the person that I've learned so much from. I've got, like I said, a fantastic family, but it's trickled down from him. So we were talking about BLOC, and it's just a group of friends that work together at some point, because you don't know those folks when you first walk in there, but you earn friendship. And I used to go to the Rotary, like we were talking about before,
Yes.
with him as a child, and I'd see these guys sitting around there on a Friday, yucking it up and having a good time, drinking wine,
Mhm.
and I would think to myself, this is a job, this is work, this looks like a lot of fun to me.
Yeah.
So I think that's what we recreated there in BLOC, and I think
Yes.
it's the same way at Best in Tech, which is my day job. It's not about making a sale. It's about having a customer.
Right.
I want to partner with folks. I don't want to. If somebody called me up and said, "Can you sell me a computer?" I don't want to sell you a computer. I want to be your business partner when it comes. I want to be your IT department.
Yes.
So I'm 59 years
Young.
old.
Young.
Thank you. I don't feel it. Somebody was talking. My brother's my financial planner, Ryan, and he was talking about, well, what's the retirement plan? I'm like, retirement?
Mhm.
Yeah.
But at this age, people start talking about
Yes.
that kind of stuff, and it makes sense because you do have to plan. If you don't,
Mhm.
if you don't make a plan, you're planning to fail.
Mhm.
So I got to start thinking about that stuff. But I just really love what I do. I love being around people.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not forcing relationships on people, but just earning it. And it's sort of like when somebody knocks on your door and you start backing away, people will come out of the door to talk to you. You just naturally, organically have these relationships develop. So I just feel like that's a good way to run a business, and it's a great way to run a networking group too.
Yeah.
So.
It shows. It shows in what
does.
you're talking about. It shows in what your give back. I mean, I know I would want to do business with someone that has some kind of philanthropy or give back to it. I mean, to me, that shows what kind of a person you are.
That's right.
And I think that's commendable. Not only the fact that you're Irish, and usually that
How'd you
is-
know?
that
We
has
never
something
even
to-
mentioned
Well,
that.
the last name
Yeah.
O'Hanley.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think but
O'Hanley,
yes,
O'Donoghue, or
yes,
whatever,
I-
yes,
I
right.
think that's an Irish thing there, right? Is family and how important that is. But God bless your dad, 94. That's amazing.
It is.
I think that, we're losing some of that in our community now, right? Is that family spirit, that stick-to-itiveness, that give-back kind of
Yeah.
stuff. We need to talk more about that, about the good old days, right? On how we did that kind of stuff.
I watched an episode of something the other day. Oh, it was the final episode of The Office, the American version of The Office.
Mm.
And one of the characters said, I think it might have been the final thing they said of that series, is that, "Yeah, I wish somebody would just let you know when the good old days, you're in the middle of the good old days,
Yeah.
rather than saying, oh, those are the good old days.
Yeah.
Right.
You just need to be aware of it. And quite frankly, we are.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're going through tough times, they're learning experiences you can carry forward.
Yeah.
But you've got to appreciate these things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Don't you agree, Margie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
You can make it tough, or you can fight through the toughness.
Yeah.
And sort of the mentoring that we do at Hope House, the adage, okay, look, that happened. It's in the rearview mirror. Let's move forward and pick up the pieces.
Right.
And sometimes that's hard to do, but you know what? When you've got a community behind you, such as generous folks like you and people like Little Smiles, you can say, I can do this. I've got a fan club now of people that are behind me, hoping that I can pull it together. Well, that's what putting hope in the headline looks like, right? Standing up with each other and
That's right.
Getting to the shoreline and standing up on your own 2 feet. So well done.
Thank you. You know, and you make a great point there. I always say this to my coworkers, the engineers that I work with. You know, everybody wants you to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Our clients want you to be successful. You want to be successful. I want you to be successful. Nobody's pulling for you to fail.
Right.
So let's go ahead and do it.
And I think I was sharing with you when I met Carol Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
Her sister went to college with me in New Jersey.
Where in New Jersey? What
Centenary.
School? Okay, great.
Yeah. And I had found out that Carol Burnett was coming to town. I went, I would do anything to meet your sister. I mean, anything. You name it, I'll pay for lunch. She said, just join us. And I said to her, Miss Burnett, she said, my name is Carol. And I said, how did you achieve and maintain your fame? She said, I've always worked with better people than me.
Oh, okay. Good. Yeah, that's a good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see she's a genuine person. I don't know.
Yes,
Did you used to watch the Carol Burnett show?
Oh, my gosh. I wouldn't have missed
In the good old days?
I was going to say back in the day. Yeah. But she would take, do a Q&A at the end of those shows or at the beginning of the shows.
And I've always said I've always needed mentors.
Yeah.
Looking up to somebody who's doing what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then go do it.
And,
with your twist.
Steal from them.
Yeah.
In an honest way.
That's right.
I always say to the different directors of different chapters, go to a different luncheon and find out what you like, what they're doing over there, and use it in your chapter.
That's right.
I mean, that's just the way there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
So what if you're thinking you want to get involved in this organization, but you're not like a business leader, but you're in business and you want some maybe mentorship or some companionship?
We'll take it all.
Okay. So I'm going to issue you a challenge, Scott.
Okay.
So if anybody comes to Wednesday night's meeting and says they heard about you on WSIC,
right,
you're going to buy them a beer.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sure. Yeah.
And then lose my number. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay. No, that's fine.
No,
you tell them to look for me.
I think people are curious, and I think people,
they need to use your name.
Okay.
That's the key. Otherwise, it's a scam for my current members. They're going to try to take advantage of a good idea.
Yes, if anybody's listening, they're going to mention WSIC, and you're going to be buying a lot of beers Wednesday night.
I hope so. Again, I have a business partner. I can't wait till he sees the line item on the QuickBooks, but that's fine.
Isn't that a president's role?
They don't give me a budget. I told you about the dictatorship. There's democracies. It's not that way.
It's getting harder and harder. That's for sure. Tell us a little bit more about your business too, because I think that's fascinating. I think, people like Margie and I who are running these non-for-profits and small business people and everything are like, tech. Like everybody kind of like growls. I think it's the one bane of our existence that it seems, and maybe we'll wait till after break to get a little bit more lowdown on it, but what kind of services you provide, what kind of things you do in your business. I think tech is terrifying. And I know for me, I have a daughter living in D.C. who is my tech go-to, is like, oh, okay, Mom, start here. And I'm like, it always seems so like shaming that I don't like know some of the, latest, greatest, whatever.
Well, you're going to have your first grandson, and then you can go to your
granddaughter. So yes, absolutely. But when we come back from break, I'm just curious about what kind of things that your business provides and how people get in touch with you from the business perspective and what you can offer our community in learning more about your business.
Terrific.
So when we come back from break, not only will we be talking about that, but probably pizza. And I'm getting hungry thinking about amazing pizzas. So we'll be back shortly.
Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Oh boy, summer's coming slinging with this heat and still no relief from the 90s for a while, although it's a little less humid for today, so not quite as sticky, but it's still just plain hot no matter what you do if you're going to be outside. Plenty of sunshine today. High temperatures are back in the low to mid 90s. Overnight, partly cloudy, mostly clear skies will dip down to around 70. More mid 90s on the way, and the humidity comes back tomorrow with a low chance of an isolated shower or thunderstorm. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Langtree Live gets your weekend off to an early start on Thursday night. The Carolinas' premier Beatles tribute band Tangerine Trees covers many well-known songs and a few obscure ones. Event time is 6:30 p.m. with the concert beginning at 7. Bring your chairs to Langtree on Thursday, June 27th for Beatles tribute band Tangerine Trees. Birkdale's Live Under the Oaks concert series continues on Friday. The ultimate 90s experience from Gump Fiction begins at 6 p.m. Kick back and relax on the green in front of the stage at Birkdale Village in Huntersville for the free Gump Fiction show on Friday night. Downtown Statesville welcomes live music this weekend. On Friday, Wine Maestro showcases a performance by Danny Wicker at 7 p.m., while Delaney's Sports Bar presents Bryce Reese at 8 p.m. Visit Downtown Statesville Friday night for live music at Wine Maestro and Delaney's Sports Bar. The Kane Center for the Arts, Week 4 of summer camps begins Monday, July 8th. Morning and afternoon camps for ages 5 to 15 include ceramics, drawing, art, food, painting, and more. The fall performance season begins Saturday, September 7th with a show by comedian Tom Cotter. For more information on the just announced fall performance schedule and summer camp programs, visit canearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. The Cookout Summer Shootout Series revs up summertime at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The 10-race series nights 5 and 6 are on Monday, July 1st and Tuesday, July 2nd. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com for tickets, details, and information. To keep up with all the events happening around the community and much more, including amazing local deals, download the WSIC News app today.
Call now to speak with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle at 844-STUDIO-4. It's community-centered on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Welcome back. This hour has just flown by, and I wish we had another hour.
I do too, but during this last break, we learned an interesting fact from Scott. I'm like, okay, now we know the pizza deal, but now we can talk about baseball. Yay, Bill. Now we got Bill's attention. So Scott was telling us that it was a lifelong dream of his to visit every major
league baseball stadium, yes.
Oh, wow. How many is that?
There's 30 now. There's 30, 32, 30, 30.
Okay.
I'll give NFL's 32. It's 30. Although I've been to over 40 because these cities keep building new stadiums.
I was going to say, does it count if it's? I think the last one I knew about was Baltimore.
Right.
Toronto has. You're going to Toronto, and they have the indoor one.
That's right, Toronto. Actually, you know what? We were supposed to go there about 4 years ago. We literally got to the airport, Charlotte Douglas, checked in, and they canceled our flight to Toronto because of snow. But it worked out well because of the fact that the Sky Dome, I believe that's what
Sky
it's called,
Dome, yes,
had ice fall through the dome, and they shut down the field for like a couple weeks. So thank God we didn't fly out there just not to see the game.
I had my 50th birthday there.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My husband
we'll
had a
be
private
there.
suite.
I'll be there Saturday.
Yeah.
So Scott is headed there for his last stadium visit.
That'll be my last. Now, I must say there's a disclaimer or a waiver. I have to go back now to Atlanta because now they have Truist Field.
Mm-hmm.
I have been to Turner Field. I have been to Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. But now they've got another stadium. So I got to go to that as well.
Did you play baseball?
You have to.
No, as a kid, but I'm ridiculous. I love sports. I'll watch anything. Like last night was overwhelming. There was Stanley Cup. There was the College World Series baseball. There was track and field going on. There was one other thing going on. Oh, Brazil was playing too. It was in soccer. It was crazy. There's just too much.
So you had command of the remote.
I did. I did.
My husband did too. He was a big hockey player right up until he was 76.
Oh, that's tremendous. Good for him. It's a great sport.
Oh, God.
The season's over now. Florida won yesterday.
Yeah.
So.
That's wild. Well, good luck with your
Thank you so much.
last stadium tour to complete. Will there be a ta-da or a...
No. We'll may have a few drinks.
May involve
But
that.
the next thing we're going to try to do is go to all the SEC football stadiums. So that's we just don't want to stop doing stuff.
Yeah.
It's the same group of guys. My friend Craig Dunn, Mike Waite, my favorite Dave Rickard. Hopefully you'll listen to this and appreciate the fact that I'm shouting their names out. But there's been some other cast of characters over the years that went with us. It's just a great bonding experience with a bunch of friends.
Oh, I
fun.
think that's fabulous.
Thank you
that's
very
a
much.
Bucket list goal, right?
Yeah.
It truly is. Yeah. So you got to go to your next bucket list because this
Yes,
one's
you
been
do.
accomplished.
Create new ones. Once you get one, you check it off. You do that. So tell us again about your business.
So my business again is Best Integration Technologies, or Best in Tech as we're called, and the website is bestintech.com. I learned a valuable lesson to always say it twice, so I'll say it at the end.
Yes.
But we started that 23 years ago, and you asked about, it's a little scary, but really our job is to make it not scary. We've got a help desk with tremendous engineers. You just send an email to support@bestintech.com, and those folks will help you out. So if you've got any pain, IT pain, we'll help you out. Even if it's something we can't help you out with, I'll find somebody that can help you out.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Thank you for saying that. But they're really nice people. And I always tell the folks, listen, my engineers that I'm lucky enough to work with, hey, listen, when they're contacting us, don't get hung up on how it's expressed, their pain, their IT pain.
That's right.
Just try to figure out what the message is, and let's try to figure it out together. It's like I said a few minutes ago. They just want us to be successful. You want to be successful. So just figure it out. And our job truly is to give intelligent advice from an IT perspective, and you can do whatever you want with that advice. And then hopefully you'll decide to allow us to help you with whatever you decide to do. So we work with a lot of businesses in the greater Charlotte area.
Okay.
And as I said, they're our partners.
That's interesting. We were just talking about this morning with my social workers. We said we should have a tagline that says, "We advise, you decide." Right?
That's perfect.
Yeah, isn't it? And I was just
so
thinking,
I'm stealing that.
Please do.
Okay, I'm writing it down.
We kind of lead with giving hope, transforming lives, but we were kind of saying that we give advice, and then we tell people what we think they should be doing, and then they get to decide.
That's right.
Terrific.
So they get the credit either way. So I think that's a really great lead for you. So feel free to use it.
Trust me, I already wrote it down.
Okay.
Yes, exactly. I'll give you credit, though,
Thank you.
until I forget who said it.
Do I have to buy you a beer?
I think you probably owe me since you committed me to buying a bunch. So.
I know, that's awesome. Well, what if one of our listeners is listening and they're having some experiencing some troublesome thing or are confused about something, do they reach out to you? Do we reach out on the website? Is there a phone number they can call?
So if they want to call, they can call 704-540-6965. Or they can just go to the website,
okay,
bestintech.com, which is bestintech.com.
Yeah.
But if they just want to go ahead and get the problem started in terms of resolution,
yeah,
just send an email to support@bestintech.com. That way you don't have to remember how to
glad
spell
to know
Donaghy.
that.
I know, me too. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking in this community, there really isn't a whole lot of folks doing that. So
They're like I said,
that I know of.
yeah, maybe I'm probably so. I'm just lucky enough to be here sitting with you two saying it.
Yeah.
But it's like I said, everybody needs what we do, so why not us? And I always say, like when I sit down with somebody for the first time, when we talk about an opportunity, I always say, just give me a tryout.
Yeah.
Just give me a tryout. If we do a decent job, hire us full time. But let's not sign any agreement. Let's not get involved with. Well, I'll sign a mutual non-disclosure so they don't have to worry about their data getting out there.
Yeah.
But just give me a tryout and see how we do. And if we do a decent job, then we can talk about agreeing
Yeah.
to work together on an ongoing basis.
Yeah.
But if you just have an individual issue and you just, as we call break fix, it's broken, can you fix it? We'll do that for you as well.
Okay. I'm
So-
glad to know that.
I
Yeah,
am too.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But if you two can send me an email privately and I'll get it resolved too.
Awesome. Thank you.
So,
Thank you so much for
Sure.
that. We it's such a complicated world in technology these days, isn't
well,
it? With
Well, you
websites.
use it
and-
constantly. Your smartphone,
Yeah.
your laptop, your tablet,
Yeah.
the wireless stuff you connect to, your voice over IP phone system. We do that as well. All these different things.
know.
Your laptop, a computer if you're using that. When you travel, I mean, it's everything. And people say, "Well, it always screws up," and I'm like, "You are using constantly. You are using it constantly. Sooner or later, you're going to screw it up."
Yeah.
Well, I have an 86-year-old mom that I help take care of. It's a very lethal weapon in her hands. So
My
we're always
mother
like,
was
they
too.
don't understand it, right? They do a lot of pounding with their fingers, and then
Oh,
they've
yeah.
disconnected
I'm
and
guilty,
changed this.
too.
My
Yeah.
mother kept telling everybody, all her friends, I'm on TV now.
Right?
I said, no, you've got a computer.
Yeah, right.
Oh, good
No,
one.
I'm on TV.
Yeah, I love the FaceTime call that I get that is generally of her ear. So
Oh.
like, we've got to turn the phone just a little bit more. But no, bless her. And shout out to you, Mom, because I know you're probably listening. So I didn't say anything too bad.
I just booked her caretaker is coming on the show.
Yay.
The end of July.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
we'll have a lot to talk about with that. That'll
I'm
be
sure.
fun. Well, again, I just want to let the listeners know too that if you're listening, don't forget to download the WSIC app. And also, if you wanted to give us a quick call at 844-STUDIO-4, we are still here live with Margie and Scott. Scott might have a great answer for you or give you some good advice when it comes to technology or baseball stadiums or pizza or BLOC or what else, Scott? What else do you do?
Well, you talk about the smart IT advice. I always say I work with a lot of smart IT people, so I can talk in generalities, but I've got smart people that can help out. I always say, my wife Jenny, it drives her nuts because I always say I'm the dumb sales guy. But luckily, they need us dumb sales guys, to get the pieces together. So. Anyways, I work with smart people that can resolve problems.
That's cool. That's
yeah,
really cool. What else? What's up next?
I'm trying to think what new and exciting things I have going on besides that. I can't think of anything.
I think your life is pretty exciting already.
Yeah,
Going to
you
your
will
final
love Toronto. It's very clean,
Toronto
very
yes.
safe.
Yeah, so we're going to the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Okay. No, well,
Okay.
yeah.
I
knew Gordie Howe well.
You knew him?
Uh-huh.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a whole conversation. Right there. That's a radio show right there. We're flying into Buffalo.
Yes. Okay.
Which is, as you know, about 2 hours down the road.
Yeah.
So I've never been to Niagara Falls. I
Oh,
used to live in
yes.
Buffalo, but I don't remember. I was 3 when we moved from there. So we're going to go see the Niagara Falls.
Yes, you will love it.
Should I go to the American side or the Canadian side?
They're both beautiful.
Go to both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll drive to Toronto.
Yes.
Friday, we're going to ride bikes around, hit the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Saturday is the baseball game. Sunday, I come home.
Okay. Oh, you will love it. The food there is unreal.
Really?
Sounds like
Yeah.
an adventure.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
So going to all these different cities across the U.S. to see these ballparks, I wouldn't have gone to a lot of these cities if it hadn't have been. I really didn't have a
But
drive
I
to
think
go see
that's
these
wonderful.
places.
I traveled the world teaching
I bet.
interior design, and I loved it because I saw so many different cities.
Mm-hmm.
And
It's great. I've seen so much in the last year that I never thought I would have seen
Yeah.
historically.
Yeah.
That is a very cool goal and a really, like we said before, a bucket list item. Like that is to be able to say I visited every
I know.
stadium, baseball stadium.
Baseball
like,
stadium.
That's kind of cool, right?
Yeah.
Well, see,
Somebody-
I taught at every design institute.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that about you. Every time we do this show, Margie, I learn something new about you.
That's because I'm old.
You are no, it's not because you're old. It's because you're multifascinating.
Thank you.
You really are, and I think there's so
Well, I
many
have
different
had-
things about you.
You know, at my age, and I'm up there.
Hmm.
When I look back, there's nothing I'm sorry I didn't. I did.
Aw.
And I think that's a blessing.
Good for you. But you still
Yeah.
got more stuff to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. well, it was my doctor said, "How's your mind?" I said, "I don't know. I'm running 3 companies. U.S.
Yeah,
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 you're right.
right.
Yeah.
You got a lot of gas left in your tank, Margie.
So then he started asking me how to spell these words backwards.
Oh,
I
yeah.
said, "I can't even
Oh,
spell it
forget it.
forwards."
Yeah. No.
yeah, that's one
Hey,
of
don't
those
ask
tests.
me math because where's my calculator?
Well, Scott, I have to say, on my behalf, it's been a pleasure to meet you. I
Yeah.
want to commend you on the work that you're doing in
Thank
the
you.
community. I want to say kudos on your company. I wish you a lot of success with that. And I hope you have a marvelous time this weekend.
Thank you very much. You two are wonderful. Thank you for being so hospitable. I do
yeah.
want to give a shout out to my daughter Devin and my wife Jenny. If I
Yes.
didn't mention them, I was going to be in
Hey,
trouble.
Devin.
So
Hey,
thank you.
Jenny. We're
Yes.
you have a great dad, and we're delighted that he spent some time with us this hot Tuesday.
Yes, it is.
We will see you next week on Community Centered.
Yes.
Serving you better than